You're listening to Up the Turnpike with hosts Mitch Anderson and Matt O'Leary.
What is going on? Matt O'Leary alongside Mitch Anderson for another Up the Turnpike post-game show. The New York Islanders have officially been eliminated from the 2025 playoffs. The wait is over. It was a long year of will they or won't they, and we finally got the answer that we've been expecting for a while. They will not be a 2025 playoff team. Your thoughts?
Finally, happy in a way. I'm not happy that they don't make the playoffs. I'm just happy that they've finally been forced to pick a lane, right? Which is awful. Feels horrendous that we've been forced to pick a lane in game 80, not even 79 of the season. What are we doing here? It's so stupid. Goddamn this team. Goddamn the management of this team.
Yeah, I was off by one. I said the last two games would be meaningless, but
right,
off by one. The Islanders, as we said, officially eliminated today. And as Mitch, I think you said it perfectly. Like, not that we're like, oh yeah, let's celebrate this team not making the playoffs, but it's kind of just like, all right, this season from hell is finally going to be over in just a couple of days. Like, the reality sets in a little bit more, I think.
Perhaps. I don't know. There's just so much to think about this season, and we're not going to get into a debrief of this season. We're going to have a whole off season to do. Yep. But even just this game, in the context of what happened in the other night, did this look like a team who lost 9? Was it 2? I don't even remember anymore because I'm trying.
Yeah, 9-2.
Does this look like a team who got embarrassed by the Rangers just 2 nights ago? Because it didn't to me.
No, I was going to say a fairly lifeless meh performance results in a meh result here.
Yeah, so like you're saying the last 2 games aren't going to mean anything. I think you might be right. I don't think this game meant anything to them at all. They certainly didn't play like it at whatsoever.
No, I wouldn't say there was really much urgency. Unless you want to say Bo Horvat. I feel like he played with some urgency today. No?
I mean, maybe. I don't think anyone played particularly well. And maybe Tony DeAngelo for the Philly Comets in the intermission. That's it. That's it.
Like, oh, I fucking hate it here.
Yeah. Basically. This game was, as Nick is saying, disappointing in so many ways. It really was.
It was. So let's hop into it, Mitch. No goals in the first period scored. Shots were 12-8 in favor of the New York Islanders. A couple power play opportunities, which not much really going on, especially when Anders Lee takes a tripping call 3 seconds after the Islanders go on their first power play.
Like it was right off the face-off. If you guys didn't see it, and I know some of you haven't, because we're seeing that in the comments here. Even Jimmy Pins is like, no, that's not the one. There it is. He's going to Saturday matinee mass because it's Palm Sunday, then going to minor league hockey. Time better served, honest
Correct.
To God.
Yes, significantly better man than we are, Jimmy, for that. That's a much better day. Mitch and I hate watch the Islanders this afternoon. That's what we did.
But yeah, so right off the face off of the power play, he takes a tripping call, and you're like, can we just not? It's just so dumb. It's just this can't end sooner. This season cannot end sooner.
No, certainly not.
We're only, what was that, like 10 minutes into the first period?
Yeah, exactly. It was 10 minutes. It was 9:06 the Drysdale penalty, and then 9:09 the tripping.
Yeah, exactly. Just God damn it. And then of course they get a power play. No, they didn't do anything in the first period. I forgot that it ended nothing in the first period.
Yeah.
There was nothing really happening outside of, as you mentioned, the power plays, but they didn't do anything on them, which isn't much of a shocker, right?
Can't say that we're surprised here, but as you kind of pointed out, we'll get into the second period now. We'll show you the goal. Tyson Forrester scores on the power play to give the Flyers a 1-0 lead. 3:28 into the period. Palmieri turnover. Adam Pelech runs into a referee, and then suddenly it ends up in the back of the net.
Yeah, so you don't see it on the play there, but Adam Pelech does run into the referee, kind of slows him down, giving the opening for Tyson Forster. But even the play along the boards here by Kyle Palmieri was horrendous. it was all really, really bad leading up to it. The second they got on the rush, I was going, that's ending back in the net. It's going to end up in the back of the net. And there it was, 1-0. And I was frankly like, good. End our season. Just end us, Philly. Please put us out of our misery. We need this.
Well, the Islanders would go on a power play of their own. And at the 10:54 mark of the period, Anders Lee scores goal number 29. The only thing I care about the rest of this year is I want to see Anders Lee get to 30 goals. That's it. That's the only thing remaining that I want to see.
Yeah, that's fair. That's the only thing that we need to see. But it was good work by the power play. You see that the separation that they're creating in terms of moving the Philly players around. Just watch where we go, where the puck goes, and where the Philly players go. Look at the opening right here. Boom. Yep. Look at that. 5 that can't come back soon enough because 36, whoever the hell it is, doesn't matter. It's a flyer. Negates their spot and wide open. This is a set play by the Islanders, and it works perfectly.
I wanted to pause it for a second right here. So when it gets to Noah Dobson, 2 options, and 14's put in a really tough spot because he goes, shit, is he going to go down to Anders Lee or is he going to go to Kyle Palmieri? And then he's kind of caught in the middle here. He rushes towards Dobson, which is probably the right idea to do at that time. But that leaves Anders Lee wide open to just tip it right in and tie the game up at 1.
Yeah, I think Urson made up Dobson's mind for him because it seems like Urson is shifting towards Palmieri, which because Dobson's a righty, that's probably why he did it, right? Because he's more likely to get it to Kyle Palmieri. But Kyle is further out, right, than Anders Lee, who's right on the doorstep.
Literally could not be any closer.
Yeah, anyway, so tie game. And then we go and score another one.
Noah Dobson. So he will score double digits this season, which, sure.
Yeah, 39 points for Noah Dobson on the year so far.
Hell of a play from Bo Horvat. The dots don't do it justice, but that was insane.
Yeah, pulling the player in to open that lane for Dobson. And good on Dobson for running into that lane. Watch it right here. Boom. Like that, normally Kyle Palmieri is filling that void, but Kyle's late on the play. I shouldn't say late as if like he's to blame, but excellent stuff by Noah Dobson. And you're right, from Bo Horvat just pulling the play towards him.
And a behind the back kind of no look.
That's true. Just back it that way. Like not easy to pull off.
No. Islanders pretty dominant in that period, Mitch. 14 shots to the Phillies. I got baseball on the brain. Philadelphia Flyers 4 shots. So Islanders leave the period with a 2-2 lead, but that would not last very long. 4:29 into period number 3, and the Flyers tie the game back up at 2.
Yeah, just really excellent puck movement. Watch how they enter the zone here. Across, I didn't think that when that puck went across to Owen Tippett, he'd be able to get it. But they did a great job there.
It was a nice looking play. I think this was the one where I texted you on the side that Marcus Hogberg and Tristan Lennox have just no concern with covering up the 5-hole whatsoever. And just like beat me 5-hole, and the Flyers and every other team's like, okay, we're gonna do it again.
Deal, you got it.
So that had me chuckle to myself in this tough one.
Yeah, but from there on, the Flyers, I felt, were doing a better job at creating more offensive opportunities than the New York Islanders were, and their work paid off for them. They went up with a 3-2 lead with Tyson Forrester scoring yet again.
Yeah, so Forrester gets another one here, just kind of going to the front of the net, man, and puts himself in a good scoring position.
Yeah, there's not much to no one to really blame here, right? There's just it's 4 on. Is it 4? No, it's 5. 5 on 5. But maybe you can say Pajot shouldn't have been too far out, but it seemed that he turned around a little bit there. Whatever. These are typical hockey breakdowns. You're going to have one of these a game. That happens. Whatever. I'm not too worried about it, but I wanted them to lose as well. So it felt good.
What I was surprised with is Islanders pull the goalie and they actually score on the 6-on-5.
Yeah, of course, of all the times where they pull the goalie and they score, and they pulled him early, right? Like within 4 minutes or with 4 minutes left. And this just takes a deflection off Sanheim, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it goes off his stick and in the net, which lucky bounce, but you'll take it, obviously, if you're the Islanders. And goal number 27 for Bo Horvat.
Yeah, it's good stuff, I suppose. Philly just collapsing in front of it and just creating all kinds of havoc in front of their own net, which is what they're supposed to do, to protect a lead there. But lucky goal, friggin' course.
Were you surprised that Patrick Waugh did not pull the goalie for overtime?
No.
Okay.
No. Because he, unlike the players, he was playing to, maybe not to win, but to keep the playoff hopes alive. The players did not seem like they were doing that even in overtime. So I wasn't surprised, but I wanted him to do it because it would help the tank.
The overtime period was pretty sloppy for both teams. No one really got anything of value. There were a lot of turnovers and lost possession as well. So the game would go to a shootout, million saves in a row. Konechny couldn't get it to go. Horvat, Michkov, Siplikov, Forrester, Holmstrom, Tippett, D'Angelo. Then Bobby Brink finally gets it to go. Kyle Palmieri sees it on the line. No goal. And that's all she wrote, folks.
Yeah, a controller died. Like Mike is saying here, for some reason to me in the shootout, it looked like Palmieri didn't give a shit at all for his shot. I mean, anyone has in an Islander uniform in the shootout all year, haven't they?
No, yeah, that's pretty common, I would say.
I'm not saying Mike is wrong. It certainly didn't seem like Kyle was doing that, but that seems very much on brand for the Islanders in the shootout this year.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Yeah. I feel like I'm sad, even though I want them to win, or I wanted them to lose. But they didn't even, as Hockey Life is saying here, they can't even lose properly. They got the point. So they're up to 80 points now in the standings, which, they could still be leapfrogged by Anaheim tonight. Same thing with Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh's playing game 81. So the Islanders are going to have 2 games on them.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a lot of ground to make up. Just not getting that point, you're sitting at 79 points, right? That means Anaheim could definitely easily leapfrog you. Same thing with Pittsburgh. You're so much closer with the Sabres, and then you're closer with Philly, who is now at 75 points. You would only have 4 games or 4 points on them. Can't even lose properly.
No, cannot lose properly. So let's do the stats, then do the box score, and close with some comments. Shots on goal, 40. Islanders had over 40 shots again. To the Flyers 22. Faceoff dot 56.4%. Islanders leading there. Each team went 1 for 4 on the power play. So you have 8 penalty minutes a pop. Hits 19-16. Block shots 18-13. Giveaways 15-12. Takeaways 9-9. Mitch, before we go into the box score, there was something else that I wanted to mention that I completely forgot about until right now. It looks like the Islanders avoided something really scary as Pierre Engvall went down in the third period. I thought he tore his ACL.
Same, yeah.
Yeah, that did not look good, but he was supposedly back on the bench. I don't know if he didn't come back in, but I don't think he would have went back to the bench if his ACL popped like I thought happened, unfortunately.
It didn't look good at all, right? He's clutching what I thought was his hammy, but I don't know if you could pull that. I'm not a doctor. And he needed to help off the ice, couldn't put his skate down, but yeah, it looks like he was back on the bench for the shootout portion, which is great. On a personal level, I'm not saying that great. Now we've got our guy for the third line going into next year. It's just you don't want to see anyone get
Yeah. Sorry, I wanted to pull it up here. He would keep how he goes down and just bam. Immediately, and then just goes and holds right on his knee. To me, I thought for sure that's what it was, a torn ACL. So it seems like he avoided that, which is a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't want to see a player deal with that. That's horrible injury.
No, exactly. At least he's got a contract for the next 5 years.
That's true. That's true. All right, you want to guess these numbers, Mitch? Who's leading the way for forward ice time?
Sure. I'm going to assume it's Bo Horvat leading the way.
But by a lot. 21:45. Next closest is Simon Holmstrom at 18:36.
Okay. Yep. Well, I guess you only have so many centers now that Brock Nelson's gone.
This is true.
Least amount of ice time, I assume, is Matt Martin.
Yep, good save. Matt Martin, 10 minutes and 15 seconds, though. The most he's played since coming back into the lineup.
He looked okay, I thought.
He was fine.
Yeah. That does not mean he earns a spot next year. It is done.
Wow.
Defenseman, okay. Tony D.
But another by a significant margin. Had 2 assists in this game, 2 points, 26 minutes and 47 seconds. Next closest, Noah Dobson at 22:06.
Okay. Yeah. He played a lot on the overtime. I don't know. Patty likes him. Man.
He does.
Least amount of ice time, I assume, is Mayfield.
1736 for Scott Mayfield.
He did not look good, I thought.
No, I wouldn't. I would agree.
No. So yeah,
the Hog stopped 19 of 22 for an 864 save percentage.
Yeah, there you go. He was better for sure, easily better than he was against the Rangers.
Definitely.
But yeah, it still strikes me how these guys didn't respond from yesterday, or if not yesterday, but 2 days ago.
Well, it was surprising that after allowing 7 goals, then they allow 9 right after that, right? So I think this team has just folded up shop, and they have the final date circled on the calendar saying when they can get out of here.
Yeah, I guess at least they only let up 3 this time. Winning.
Better.
Winning was Gary, who says he's heading out, missing my first game of the season. I'm not even recording it. That should tell it all.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Don't go back and watch it. Not worth your time, Gary.
No. But what is worth your time at home is to like and subscribe on the channel, please.
Thank you, Gary. Appreciate the support. He's always in here talking with us in the post game too. So that goes to show you, like, if he's not tuned in, they lost the diehards this year.
Yeah. Some people, as Jimmy, we already know that Jimmy's missing out as well, but he's paying attention to Boston University, who's going to play for the national championship today against the Western Michigan Broncos. So good luck, Cole Eiserman. That's the limit of my rooting interest today.
There you go. He scored a huge goal again. Big game. Cole Eiserman strikes again against who'd Boston University
Penn
play?
State.
Penn State. There you go.
Yeah, scored the game winner on a 2-on-1 rush. It's good stuff from a freshman player. He doesn't lead the league in scoring, even in points, but this is just a freshman, so there's a lot to like in his game.
And like I mentioned too, it seems like in every big game he plays, he's scoring a goal.
Yes, that's true. That is that. He scored 4 in. I think he's got a goal in the last 4 games straight.
That's impressive,
I believe. But Jimmy's here saying he's already subscribed, as what Gary was saying there, but likes what we're doing. Keep up the good work. We will. Absolutely. And definitely. Thank you for subscribing. Okay, Nick. Now that we're eliminated, will Lou actually do his job and call up some young guys from Bridgeport, or will he continue to just sleep through the season?
He should call people up. My guess is it's going to be a slumber for the final 3.
Yeah, there's no reason. There's no reason, Nick. I get it. I'm on the same boat. Like, why not? What do you have to lose? Lou isn't going to waste their time. He's just going to be like, let's just call it a day on this, end this thing.
Yep.
But Jake is saying here that love and appreciate Lou for what he did for us between 18 and 21, but something's got to change.
That's my exact thought. Yeah. I am with Jake 1000%. Thank you for bringing some legitimacy back to the Islanders. It's run its course. It's time for a change.
Are you 100% lockstep with Jake on this one as well? Just checking.
No, I got the Mets. The Mets are playing well though, and the Yankees seem to be doing okay too.
That's
so maybe New York baseball saves us.
Maybe New York sports needs some saving, doesn't it?
It could use some saving.
Yeah. Lou's got to go. Lou's got to go, man. It is done. Merce saying at this point we need to do a lot of work. Free agency, dumping Mayfield, Engvall, Palms, Lee, and Dobson. Ooh, I don't know about Dobson, and pick up a score with speed this draft. And by the way, loser Lamoriello's time as GM must end.
There's that'd be a lot of change. The Islanders do need a lot of change. I don't know if it's going to be all the guys listed off here. How many is 5 guys? I don't know if they cycle out 5 players, but I would say at least 3 have to go.
I would say they're gonna move at least 3. I agree, but although it depends if Lou's still around or not. I think he will be, but we'll see.
I agree with you. Not that I want that to happen, but I'm with you. I think that's ultimately how this goes.
Yeah, and here's from Tim saying, like, if Lou's not gone after the season, it will be worse next year. On that,
it's trending that way, right?
It's hard not to disagree with that. It really is, man. Every year has gotten worse and worse, and we haven't had enough change to this roster to make improvements.
Nope.
So yeah. On the talk of change, I'm just seeing here this one at the end there from Frankie saying, I'm even okay with dropping Barzy. Call me crazy. Save him from the pain. This justification.
I don't really want to trade. You pick your 4 or 5 guys that you really want to be here. And I would think Barzy's one of those players.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying like there's not an offer where you don't think about it. Like there's
exactly.
Of course, everyone's tradable depending on what's coming back here, but I don't know if you're going to get the value in return that makes it worthwhile.
No, I agree. I would keep Barzal, but you're right. If the right offer comes, then we have to. Hockey Life, Pierre earned a spot next season, he says. Not worth buying out. Dump Mayfield and one of Pollock, Pellick, Richie in. Give Yzerman his 9 games. Let Dobson walk. If above 7.5, it's going to be above 7.
Yeah.
And need a backup goalie.
Yeah, they do need a backup goalie. I don't think Semyon Varlamov plays again. I think it's over for him, unfortunately, with this injury. And Hogberg is a number 3 goalie at best, which we've learned.
Yeah, I agree. What do you think about Andre saying here? I don't see them winning any of the next 3 games.
They have the Devils, the
Caps,
Washington, and Columbus to close.
I believe so. Yes, that's right.
I mean, you're eliminated. So at this point, right, like you want the best draft pick available. So that would probably be, that not probably, it would be the best case scenario. If the season ended today, Islanders would be picking 10th.
Yeah, that's assuming they don't win the lottery.
Right. That's exactly.
It's a big assumption. From Jake, he's saying, can only assume Roy has lost the locker room, in my opinion. Doesn't seem like the guys have a lot of heart.
Yeah, and just some of the things recently too, like Tristan Lennox and Anthony Duclair, doesn't really bode well.
No, I don't think he'll be back next year. I really don't. I understand that he seems to have signed a long-term contract or a multi-year deal. I don't think that Lou's going to keep him around. He's fired coaches for less, I should say.
Barry Trotz.
Yeah, exactly.
He had 1 year where they didn't make the playoffs and he was gone.
Yeah. Max saying, my thing with Yzerman is that there's a worry he's being carried by his other elite teammates, like the Hudsons, it doesn't matter. Not saying he's not insanely good, but that that he's being a bit inflated right now.
Okay. I think that's a legitimate criticism.
I think there's something to be said there. He does play in the third line, so he doesn't necessarily play with those guys on a shift to shift basis necessarily. But I do share the pumping of the brakes. Okay, that's not to say like we're going to go, Cole Yzerman's going to change the way we play the game. I don't think so. Not right now, anyways. I need to see more before I start putting all of my stock in Cole Yzerman, redefining the Islanders.
Okay, fair.
But Mercy's having a hard time sleeping because of Lou, apparently. Take some melatonin. Lots of melatonin.
Yeah, there you go. That's the move. Melatonin.
Yeah. Frankie's asking who replaces Roy, assuming he goes. Torts?
Tortorella. I really don't want John Tortorella.
This is not the coach. Because if we're talking about going into some sort of retooled situation where we're getting younger, this is not what Torts does. Torts is not a younger coach.
Nope.
Yeah. Wicked. This was an almost ideal situation. Too bad we didn't lose in regulation.
Yep. If they didn't score in the final minute, then you get the result you likely wanted.
Yeah, absolutely. And now with this extra point, it really kind of screws things up. Probably locks us into 10th overall.
I would say most likely the Islanders are going to pick 10th. There's a chance you move up. Obviously, I'm not going to completely rule it out, but it's a small percentage chance.
Exactly. No, totally agree with you there. So that's it. That's all we got here on the show today. We're going to end it probably a little early because it's Saturday and not a whole lot of people around, which is fair.
Totally fair. That'll do it for us on this one. Subscribe if you're new. Subscribe to the Patreon if you want to check that out as well. I'm Matt. He's Mitch, and we'll catch you next time.